A solid education is the foundation for a bright future.
I'm reminded of Maslow's hierarchy, and that is that people cannot meet their higher level needs until their lower level needs are met, which are food and shelter and love and acceptance. Those lower levels have to be addressed for people to really be able to thrive educationally, to be able to meet their goals and their needs in the future.
I think all of us know what a hungry classroom looks like. You've been in a classroom where kids are waiting for the bell to ring so that they can go and eat their lunch. And if you imagine that on a day-to-day basis for a child who may not have had enough to eat last night, didn't get his breakfast this morning, and constantly lives in a fear of not knowing where his next meal may come from, I think we know what that fear could look like in a classroom.
Why does he have long legs?
Local school teacher and Pine Top native Cody Thompson knows what hunger in the classroom looks like.
Some of the behaviors that I've noticed from students who are hungry can really be a wide range. So you can find the student who's really disruptive and maybe is just easily distracted or who wants to get up and move around. I've also noticed students who fall asleep because they just don't have the energy from food in the morning.
These behaviors aren't random anecdotes. They're measurable realities.
In 2012, 28% of households had children who were food insecure. That means 1 out of almost 3 children come to school not sure where their next meal will come from. How does that affect them academically, emotionally, and how does that affect their ability to learn? I can tell you, it's very difficult for them.
Hunger is a really unfair culprit and disadvantage to a child because the skills that they need in a younger grade they might not be getting because they're so focused on eating or they're thinking about lunch coming up, and so they're not going to be able to learn those math skills that they need right before lunch, and that's going to translate into later grades when those skills are needed to go on to more advanced skills.
Children who don't master the skills taught in each grade face the long-term effects of falling behind.
If a child is not achieving in the classroom, I think it does affect their confidence and their self-esteem because they're seeing their peers moving on to more challenging tasks or more challenging skills, and they're not able to keep up with them.
Difficulty in the classroom today sets up a challenging future for all of us.
In the next 10 to 15 years, the students that are between 5 and 18 years old will be in the workforce. When more than half of the students that attend public schools in Arizona live in poverty, what kind of a workforce will we have in Arizona? And how can we affect that change now? We found in both schools that if we have breakfast in the classroom, it improves attendance rates. Statistics show that if a first grader misses more than 10 days in a quarter of school, they have a much higher likelihood of dropping out of high school. So we found that having simple interventions at early ages can make a dramatic effect on student success in high school and college and career into the future.
When a child doesn't have to focus on where their next meal is coming from, they can focus on learning and they can focus on being that great mathematician that they really are deep down inside that we would have never known if they were thinking about hunger and thinking about where their next meal is coming from. So really giving our children the nutritional food that they need is really helping them not only the day that we give it to them, but long-term down the road. And that's really what I picture when I think of a solution, that every child comes to school not worried about where they're going to get their food from.
Kids need your help. We must ensure kids are well fed from school breakfast, lunch, and summer meals. Contact your member of Congress and let them know you support child nutrition reauthorization. For more resources to help children and their families, visit azfoodbanks.org and azcaa.org. Imagine a solution.